Hi, I'm Kim Ward, and I know you're watching this because you want to find out more about probate real estate. Like you, I was always looking for the next thing, always wanting to find that new idea or new way to market myself that would work for me the way I wanted to run my business, which is to say, I wanted to work less and make more money. So that is exactly what I did. I found a way to do that. I created a niche business concentrating on probate real estate that has developed into more than I ever expected. I have a sustainable and very profitable business. Last year, I completed 32 transactions, and I did that with the help of only 2 part-time assistants. Oh yes, and I worked less than I ever have. Now, you and I know what these kinds of webinars are all about. Somebody is always selling something. We both know that you want to learn as much as you can for free. And I want you to want to buy my complete business package on ProbateBiz.com so that you too can work less and make more money. Here's hoping this is a win-win for both of us. This webinar covers topics that are important to real estate agents who want to know if they should even think about pursuing the probate market. This webinar is not a lot of boring facts about probate. You can look up probate facts on Wikipedia. In this webinar, I will provide you with concrete, usable information as I answer these 6 key questions. Why specialize in probate? What does it take to become a probate advisor? How long does it take? How can I grow my probate business? Where do I get probate leads? Where can I learn more? When you have finished this webinar, you will have a very good idea if specializing in probate is something you want to do to grow your real estate business. And after watching this webinar, you will have a very clear idea just how you can do that. Let's get started. You might be asking, why should I even think about going into probate? There are lots of reasons to specialize in probate. The number one reason to go into this niche business is because the business is there. This is the thing. There are a lot of realtors out there, and there are a lot of different ways of doing business. You have probably taken classes like the accredited buyer or luxury homes, or you've figured out how to do short sales. There are all these different ways. We are all trying to build a business that can feed our families, pay our bills. Based on my own experience, everyone is looking for leads. Leads are the needle in the haystack that all agents are looking for, hoping that the lead will turn into a bona fide buyer or seller. Real estate agents think, oh, I'll go for expired or for sale by owner leads. But there are a lot of people who are doing this, and a lot of agents digging around in that haystack looking for those leads to turn into buyers or sellers. Probate is a niche business where there could be some competition, but the reality is that not very many real estate agents work probate. Many want to, but not that many do. I'm not talking about occasionally having a probate listing fall into your lap. I'm talking about building a business based on probate real estate. That's what I did. With probate real estate, almost always the probate property has to be sold. It's a business where somebody is raising their hand saying, I need to sell a property. This isn't like what happens with an expired listing where sellers are going to be inundated with dozens of people calling them, every one of them trying to get the listing. With probate, it's limited competition. There is some competition, of course, but when you step in as the area expert, you can blow away any little bit of competition. You can set yourself apart by what you know, and as long as you can show up as the area expert, you can get the business. So let's recap. You should specialize in probate because the business is there, they have to sell, it's limited competition, and you can set yourself apart from the competition. Here's another good reason to specialize in probate. Selling probate real estate can be a sustainable business model. There are always going to be properties in probate, more so than ever before. And because the property almost always must be sold, the flow of business is much more consistent. It does not depend on real estate selling trends, hot or cold markets. People with property in probate are not going to wait for the market to get hot again. They have to sell to get the estate settled. That makes it a sustainable business model. Working a probate business niche is where I have done more than I ever thought I could have done, and I've made more than enough money to pay my bills and feed my family. This is the solid leg of my business. It's really like the trunk of my business. I do some traditional real estate business because people just come to me and they come back to me. I have buyers who come to me from referrals too, but I don't work with very many buyers. I do listings. For me, it's working with sellers that creates a sustainable business. I have a business plan that is manageable because the majority of my transactions come from listings. We all know that working with buyers is more difficult. It's more time consuming. That's the way it is. When working with buyers, real estate agents basically have to be available 24/7. What's it worth to you to have a business plan that will allow you to schedule your time better? Because with buyers, you can't schedule your time. If a house comes on the market, you'd better be running nights, weekends. Imagine working normal business hours in general and having people raising their hand to ask for your help, knowing they are going to sell that house. I've been adjusting my business plan for over 10 years, and the result is a systematic, consistent business model that lets me have a fuller life. Isn't that what we all want? So let's recap again. You should specialize in probate because it's a sustainable business model. You can focus on sellers instead of buyers. You can work normal business hours, and you can manage your business so you can manage your life. There are a couple more good reasons for specializing in probate. You can adopt a proven system, mine, that will let you work smarter, not work harder. I say this is a proven business model because I had to prove it to myself. My goal when I started out was never with the idea that one day I would be offering all my precious business plans and everything I've created over 10 years to other real estate agents. The idea was nowhere in my universe. No way. I was just trying to scratch out a living like so many of us when we start. But over the years, I did way more than that. I created something that works. My proven system is a complete business package based on tried and true actions that produce results. Another key reason for specializing in probate is that this business model allows you to build relationships that sustain your business. With traditional real estate, we all strive to do a good job and develop a rapport with customers so that they will think of us and come back to us when they need to buy or sell property again. That's a good thing, and we are very happy when that happens. With my probate business, I work systematic plans that actively promote my business, promote me and my team and what we do. I build relationships with attorneys so they will send probate business to me. And my favorite reason for specializing in probate is that I get to help people. This is what I think is really priceless and why I love my chosen career. I get to be in the real estate business, and I know there is a person who is going to have to sell that house, and I have the opportunity to step in there and help them with the whole process. Most of the time, the estate representative is overwhelmed with the situation. They are vulnerable. My philosophy is that I am here to help. I am providing a service. My clients frequently say they wish they would have called me sooner, how much easier I made this whole situation. They couldn't believe how quickly the house was prepared and put on the market, how the communication that they received from me made them feel safe, that they didn't worry about anything. They knew I was taking care of it. That's the feedback I get. So here's the last recap. You should specialize in probate because you can adopt a proven system. You can build relationships that sustain your business, and you can help people. The next key question that comes up for real estate agents is, what does it take to become a probate advisor? I'm going to answer this question by telling you how I did it. 10 years ago, when I had the idea to look into the probate real estate market, the first thing I did was learn the basics. What that means is I set out to learn as much as I could about probate. I learned the terminology around probate. I learned how the probate court system works in my jurisdiction. I wanted to know how the probate process works, what's involved, who does what. I learned the difference between traditional real estate transactions and probate real estate transactions. While I was learning the basics about probate, I began to develop a plan. I decided that I wanted to prospect this real estate niche, but I wanted to come up with a way to separate myself from any other realtors or investors who were also looking to get the listing. I decided that I needed to provide services to the personal representatives that they would not be getting from other realtors. The plan I developed includes what I can do and what I am willing to do to make the process of selling the estate property move along as smoothly as possible. I decided I wanted to be able to help the personal representative in ways that no other realtors were offering. I made a plan that includes taking some of the load off the personal representative and helping them with things that are causing them overwhelm. This plan became the list of services that I use as the foundation of my printed marketing materials. In my experience, people that have a house in probate to sell find that they are overwhelmed with the decisions that have to be made. This is different from the decisions most people make when they know they are going to be buying or selling a home, like situations where we're downsizing for a smaller place or we're moving to a different location. With probate, there is no pre-planning. All of a sudden, someone has an estate that has to get settled. When you know that and you show up and you talk about these things, for instance, how to handle the personal property or if they should do some remodeling, you can help and guide them with the things that are causing them to feel overwhelmed. That is the plan. The next action I needed to take was to figure out how to find the probate leads. I needed to find that needle in the haystack. And when I started this 10 years ago, there wasn't anyone who could tell me how to do that. I figured out where to look for the probate information, and along the way, I also figured out what information is important and useful and what information is irrelevant to probate real estate. Later on in this webinar, I'll share more about getting probate leads. Once I had the leads and I qualified them, I began the systematic process of marketing to the personal representatives. Over the years, I developed systematic action plans that I built into my business. They are the foundation of my business. As I got more experience, I refined my processes for marketing to the personal representative and to the attorney. Now, I do the same steps every time for every lead because I have discovered that my detailed, systematic approach works. So your marketing plan is successful and you've gotten the listing. They've signed the exclusive agreement with you and now you have to perform. My team and I follow detailed action plans that include step-by-step actions to stay in constant contact with both the personal representative and the attorney throughout the transaction. With my system, I underpromise but overperform, following a consistent plan and having an outrageously happy client at the end. When we close the transaction means that the attorney is told by the client how happy they are with the help we provided. Then the attorney knows me and what I can do for his clients. At that point, I have built relationships with personal representative and with the attorney who know me, like me, and trust me. That's how I get introductions to people that are in a probate situation directly from an attorney where there is almost no competition. Recently, I was introduced to a client, went to the property, and there was no competition. I was the person he was going to select. I still went through my 90-minute consultation just like I do with everybody. Although I had a pretty good idea this personal representative was going to sign the documents and be under contract with me. But sitting there, With him, I still did what I do. I didn't skip steps in my presentation. The whole system stays in place. I might make it a little shorter because I know I don't have to do so much of convincing that I'm the person to help him, and I walked away with the contract. There was no competition in that particular circumstance. That is the dream situation, and that's where this business has led me to, where attorneys introduce me to their clients and there is little to no competition. This is a question that I often hear from realtors. I'm interested in becoming a probate advisor, but how long does that take? As you can tell from this webinar, I have spent many years working out just the right plan of action to prospect for probate leads, to market to the personal representatives, and to provide the outstanding service that gets me the repeat business and the endorsement of probate attorneys. It has taken me 10 years to get to where I am now. The good news is that you can start on this journey today and begin immediately to build a probate business. When you become a member of ProbateBiz.com, you get access to everything I do and everything I use to run my business. You can start applying what you learn immediately and continue to build on that knowledge. Here's an example. When I first started, I wrote out scripts for myself so I would be able to talk to personal representatives and attorneys. I know from firsthand experience that this is one of the biggest difficulties. What do I say when I finally get somebody on the phone? So I give you the scripts I use. This is what you can say. How do you communicate with them via mail? I give you the emails I send. How do you set yourself up to be able to offer services, offer the help that people need? I give you all this. You prepare yourself and your materials and you are ready to start. And you can be ready quickly because everything is right there for you, where you can take what I have done, adjust it a little to fit who you are, and run with it. There are copies of everything I use. This is a complete business package, start to finish. The one thing I tell anyone who will listen to me is that I wish I had this kind of a complete business package when I started out years ago. I had to learn so much of it the hard way, trial and error. You don't have to do it that way. Now you want to know, how can I grow my probate business? This question, in my opinion, is the easiest to answer. Once you start with my proven system, it's not hard to put in your extra touches that wow the client. Wow the client, and the client tells the attorney how grateful they are that they found you. If you adopt my systematic approach to working probate, you can attach it to the client and you can just start following that system. And that system will create an outrageously happy client who will then let the attorney know what a great job you have done. Now the attorney once again gets the positive reinforcement that you are the go-to real estate agent for probate. And that is how you build the strong relationships with the attorney and get the repeat business. Here's a story that one of our members recently shared with me. Charlotte told me that an attorney she worked with at the beginning of the transaction was very cut and dry, very short, very businesslike, nothing in the way of friendly. But by the end of the transaction, he complimented her on a job well done. That kind of acknowledgement is priceless. Because that attorney is now one of Charlotte's avenues for additional business, that attorney will be introducing or recommending Charlotte to sell the real estate for his probate accounts. He will let other attorneys know when he talks with them that he has someone good for probate estates, and he may recommend Charlotte for traditional real estate help too, because he knows what a great job she can do. I've had attorneys who I've helped their clients through a probate and they became clients of mine to buy and sell their own homes. They saw how I worked to help their clients and they wanted the same level of support. That is the best endorsement I can get. Now these attorneys are my advocates for life. This is the question that is on everyone's mind. Where do I get the probate leads? That's what everyone wants to know. What about the leads? I'll tell you where you can get probate leads. Probate information is public record. That means it is accessible to anyone. Everything you need is in the record. You can find the estate information and you can find the contact information for the administrator or personal representative and for the attorney. We all know the probate leads are important. They are the beginning of the process. Without the leads, you cannot start your direct marketing plan. I know of 2 ways to get leads. The first is to find them on the public records. I did this when I first started out. I went to the courthouse and I researched the leads. I explain in detail how I did this in my training. Most public records have way more information in them than what I eventually needed, so I learned what to copy and what to ignore. I also learned through trial and error how to qualify the leads, not just by looking at the equity in the property, but by looking at other factors in the record that are red flags to me, factors that mean possible trouble with this probate. The second way to get probate leads is to buy them from a supplier. There are companies or individuals who offer this service. They will sell you probate leads, usually under a monthly contract priced according to the size of the area they are searching or priced per lead. This can be an effective way to get leads if that option is available where you do business. I use a lead supplier, but I still need to qualify the leads I get based on criteria I set up for my business. I learned from experience that not all leads are created equal. Even with purchase leads, I look for certain conditions within a probate that I know I want to avoid. I don't want to waste precious time and resources for a probate lead that experience shows will take me down a rabbit hole and cause me way more trouble than it's worth. Here's my warning about leads. Leads do not necessarily equal listings. My experience with getting the listing is that it doesn't happen by sending 1 or 2 letters. It doesn't happen by being aggressive or making outrageous promises. Experience shows that there is a period of time that it takes for the person to be ready to speak to a real estate agent. I created a systematic and consistent set of action plans that are essentially a drip system over a period of time. I'm not just sending a couple of letters or variations of the same letter. There's more to it to get to the point where that PR will trust you enough to meet with you. I'm teaching you how to talk to people, how to get them to speak with you first, then set an appointment, and from that appointment you can get into a contract, and from that contract you can close, and that's how you get the listing. That's what I am teaching, the whole thing, not just here are some letters you can send out. This is the last of the key 6 questions. Where can I learn more? ProbateBiz.com is the website I developed that offers my probate training for real estate professionals. Membership on the site gives you unlimited access to over 5 hours of instruction organized into 96 short videos that average 5 to 8 minutes each. You can watch and re-watch the videos as often as you want. With this site membership, you also get copies of letters, emails, scripts, and handouts to use to market to probate personal representatives and attorneys, as well as detailed action plans to step you through everything I do in my current thriving probate business. This is a perfect training for you because it's a true, complete business package. It's the how. How do you find these leads? How do you plan, prepare, prospect, perform, and promote? You go through this training and I will teach you how to be a real estate agent the way I am. The kind of real estate agent that people come back to. As a busy real estate professional, I don't really want to go sit in some room for several days to get training and have my business falling behind. The training on ProbateBiz.com can be accessed at any time from any computer, from any mobile device. Yes, it's mobile friendly. Even use your phone if you want to. So you are training yourself, getting instruction when it is convenient for you. You can revisit something while you're sitting in a car around the corner waiting for the appointment. You can get a quick refresher if you're about to meet with an attorney. Oh, how do I say that? You can access that information right when you need it, right from your phone. It's like having a coach right in your pocket. I am available to you, and I am telling you everything that I know. And membership on ProbateBiz.com gives you access to our By Invitation Facebook page, where you can ask me questions related to your specific probate transactions, get direct feedback, and also learn from other members as they grow their business. If you want to learn how to become an expert in probate and how to grow your business and increase your income, all while working smarter, not harder, then you need to become a member on ProbateBiz.com. Don't wait. The sooner you get started learning my techniques and business practices, the sooner you will see the positive results. This is the time to invest in yourself and your business. Act now. You'll be glad you did.